welcome back to Second Take Movies, the podcast where we give movies a second look, second chance, a second take, if you will. I'm your host, Preston Jenkinson, and joining me, as always, is my co-host, Jake Twido.
I'm not even going to do a Sean Connery. I was going to do it.
That's all right, laddie. I'll be doing the Sean Connery impressions in this one.
This movie is tomatoes.
It's a shit. It's a shit show.
That's definitely the worst Sean Connery the world's ever heard.
It'll be my boot up your arse. That's what it'll be. That's my favorite quote from this movie. Because we're talking about League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah, I kind of like the League of Unextraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah.
Or there's a line somewhere that's like, the title line, someone says it, and it's like, should have been this. That should have been the name.
Yeah. The story for this one, well, there's no Johnny Depp news this week, so we've kind of lost the segment.
You know what? You know what? Johnny Depp post after news math. I think it's comical that her lawyers went and did all these news press stuff, and they're like, "We got rigged." His lawyers
have been all over the Today Show and Good Morning America and stuff too.
But they let them go first, and now they're like, "Yeah, we thought it was a good trial. We thought they were nice and professional people."
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, her lawyers are like, we didn't get to submit this evidence, and we didn't get to, whatever, dude.
Poppycock.
Yeah. The story for this movie, in an alternate Victorian age world, very alternate, a group of famous contemporary fantasy, science fiction, and adventure characters team up on a secret mission.
You know what? I didn't think this was supposed to be a separate world. I thought this was supposed to be us. So now everything kind of makes more sense, you know.
For the most part, stuff. Like everything happens as history does, except there's a car.
There's a car. The Venice canals are as deep as the ocean.
Right.
Tom Sawyer is not 6 at this time.
Right.
I think by the literary standards, he's supposed to be 6 years old.
And in this movie, he's in his 20s and he works for the Secret Service or something. Which obviously was added in by the studio because in the original comic book, there is no Tom Sawyer.
Yeah, it was a pretty British original situation. Yeah. So
it was like a bunch of public domain literary characters.
Do you think they could redo this again and put Winnie the Pooh in it?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm in for that.
The serial killer one, not the...
Yeah, that... okay, now we're talking.
That was wild when I first read that. I was like, doesn't Disney own...
Yeah, I thought it was a joke, and then it was like, oh, that's right. So,
I can't believe they let that lapse.
Yeah, I don't know why they would have. Maybe it was a wish of the family or something.
Not have a choice in the matter. I don't.
Yeah,
because usually Disney likes to hold on to everything.
Yeah, even pointless things.
Right, but who knows? Our positive and negative reviews. The Globe and Mail in Toronto, Nick Groen says the concept is high, but everything else is merely fair to middling. One more or less watchable B movie in megabucks clothing.
Listen to that Canadian be nice. Listen to him. I mean, that's a yeah, bud. All right.
Yeah. Oh, don't you know it's a B movie in megabucks clothing, you know?
Get some of the poutines up there and get bud, some of those tunes.
Ed Park from Village Voice says, even if per wild, all art is quite useless, it need not be quite as useless as this.
Yeah.
This was the result of they started the script on this before like the original comic book was released, I think is what I read.
I was trying to find that because I feel like that would explain a lot of where things maybe went off the rails, but
yeah.
None of the writing's good. I mean,
no.
And
this was
I don't know how much Alan Moore did, but Whew.
This is part of my trivia that I had written down for the end, but this is part of Sean Connery's like, oh, I passed on Lord of the Rings. I passed on
The Matrix.
The Matrix. I passed on Dumbledore. And I've lost not lost, but I've talked myself out of hundreds of millions of dollars. So I'm not saying no to this.
Yeah, I'm glad this is where he drew the line. Like,
Mm-hmm.
good job, Sean Connery.
But like you said, it made him quit acting. So
I don't. Well, I mean, of course, I wasn't on set, but I don't think this movie was that bad enough to quit acting. But apparently,
I don't
it
think
was
so. No, I've
really
seen
everyone
worse
hated
movies.
each other. Yeah, I at least smirked the entire time.
Yeah. This movie starts with the Phantom. I think is the
Phantom with an F for some reason.
Yeah. He goes and kidnaps some scientists and blows up some Hindenburg machines, and he's kind of like accelerating the start of the First World War, which hasn't happened yet because this is in 1899.
I just want to let you know I'm going to sound like CinemaSins all of a sudden.
Go for it.
I was like, man, this movie may not be that bad, and then the newspaper thing comes out of Germans go into this bank and they have this picture of a tank. Who saw the tank and who drew it to like perfect detail? It's like
because after that scene where he blows up those Hindenburg things, like there's a tank on the streets in England, and all these cops like are like, one cop is like, stop, and like he just gets like run over.
Yeah, I immediately went, it's this kind of movie. That's what this is. This is going to be magical. And then we go to Africa.
Well, we're introduced to Alan Quatermain.
Totally forgot about the whole African piece of this. And still, it's just like, what is happening?
My thing is, you want to assemble this league of like people that are a league of extraordinary gentlemen. And you pick a guy that's just really good at hunting, and he's the leader?
That couldn't figure that out for the life of me. I mean, I think they keep on saying like there's so many legendary tales that everyone talks about Quatermain, and I'm like, okay, yeah, he just shoots a gun. Like, yeah, he shoots a gun far, but
yeah,
I don't know if it's like a I don't know why he's the leader. There's no.
Other than he's like in the original source material, and he was actually I had never heard of him until this movie, honestly. He was apparently an adventurer in several different books or whatever, but I had never heard of him.
Yeah, I think we're too American,
I guess,
to have heard of him.
So the British Empire, they have selected Alan Quatermain, played by Sean Connery at this point.
Didn't he
he's
just
not revealed to us at first?
Isn't he done with James Bond? And Her Queen's Majesty needs you. All right, we're getting into some Bond crap.
God save the Queen. That's about as patriotic as it gets around here.
Then, I forgot so much of this movie. He does that whole Cheerio thing, and the dudes with the really weird guns pop in, and it's just like, what is happening? This is crazy.
He has a guy that's like sitting there, that's like a decoy, and all I remember that guy from is like from Gladiator. He had like these weird eyebrows in Gladiator. That's all I remember. And
I just love that he's got that, like, he's got the guy that's his like stand-in.
Yeah,
and he stands in for 2 seconds, like,
and then gets blown away by the Phantom's army.
Yeah. And then that's when you really start to understand the CGI warfare you're about to get in for this movie.
God, yeah. Directed by the same guy that made Blade.
I can see that, honestly.
Yeah. And boy, do I have stories of him later on.
I mean, no one likes that guy, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's done anything since this either.
Well, he according to him, he after this movie, he called his agent and canceled all the stuff that he had coming up. But I don't think that's what happened.
Sure. Sure, Steven, you liar.
So they chased this one guy out, like, because these guys are wearing body armor and they have fully automatic rifles in 1899. Which
Yeah.
I don't even think the idea of that was even thought possible at that point.
Body armor or automatic weapons?
Automatic weapons.
I think the
because that's still like
chain gun
30 years away.
What are those called? Why am I
the Gatling
out?
I mean, you had the Gatling guns in
the
mid 1800s, but nothing that was like load a clip in and fire it. Could be wrong.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, like, I think World War II.
Yeah, they had
you know what? I'm cheating. I looked it up. In 1884, there's a guy, the Maxim machine gun was developed.
But it was like one of those big mounted ones, right? Like,
yeah. It's mounted, but it's got a clip. It's still a band or a ribbon.
Not like one that you can't carry around.
You could carry it, probably not shoot it very well. There's no way what they've got matches.
Yeah. But anyway,
but alternate world.
Yeah, they've taken care of all these guys, but there's still one left, as there always is, and he's running off. Quartermain shoots him in the back. Somehow that doesn't kill him.
We want him alive.
I need information.
By the way, the amount of overdubs that happen in this movie where no one moves their mouth is great, because that was one, like, he's running, mouth shut. You can tell.
Yeah,
I mean, he has a good full beard, so like, you know when it's moving.
Yeah, the audience is stupid. They don't know what's happening. We need to explain it to them.
Oh, God.
Hate that in movies. So this guy swallows a pill. He dies. And then
you get the greatest explosion in the world.
That's right, because they left a bomb at the bar.
Yeah, that was incredible.
It looks so bad.
Let me ask you something. He agrees to go with whatever Cracker Face is. I mean, whatever that guy's name is. I don't care. I'm American. I'm not British.
Cracker Face. I like that.
He agrees. He's like, pack for a British summer. And I'm like, why wouldn't you ride back together? Well,
right.
Like, bye. I'll see you in a little while. You're probably going to catch the same boat as me. Or like, what is happening here?
Yo, I'll catch you in like a couple months, I guess. I mean,
yeah.
Not like
bye, Quarterman.
Also, probably all his stuff was like in that explosion. So
all he needs is that gun, his vest that he wears the whole movie, and
homie, I can like just ride with you to the boat right now.
Yeah. Sean Connery's like, can you stop? I gotta buy some pants, actually.
Yeah.
I don't have any money either. It all got blown up just now.
Yeah. So we're brought to this mysterious place that's underground. I know that it went down like 3 levels of something. I don't know where they actually are.
I didn't remember the M.
I did.
I didn't remember who M was, and that's when I went, "This is James Bond. This is so stupid. When's Quarter?" I mean, then I went Quartermain, Q, Quarterman. This is James Bond. But
I'm sure there were nods to James Bond throughout this, and M was especially one of them.
I didn't see any. Never mind. Caught that one. Yeah, you get the like most ridiculous. I need your help because of this.
Yeah,
and then immediately you're like, oh, this Quartermain guy. He's racist and he's pretty sexist. Kind of an a-hole.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pull for him though, and everyone's gonna love him.
Yeah. Because as soon as he sees
Nemo,
sees Nemo. Yeah, let's just. This is our cast of characters. It's Alan Quartermain. It's An Invisible Man, not The Invisible Man by H.G. Wells, because Universal owns that one. Captain Nemo from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and then the wife of the other dude that fought Dracula, Mina
Harker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's a vampire.
Yeah. Dorian Gray.
And in the book, she's the one that recruits the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
That's what I thought. I was like, man, I feel like I thought that was going to happen again. Nope.
No. And her and Quartermain kind of have like a thing.
Nice.
And James Bond's granddaddy actually is also recruiting the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Nice.
There's a character called Bond in the book. I can't remember his name right now, but it is Bond. That's pretty funny.
I got the perfect guy. It's the guy that played Bond. We're gonna put him in here.
And we already mentioned Invisible Man. So then they leave there, and they go down to the docks where Dorian Gray of
Invisible
all
Man.
literary references you could think of to put in this movie, you put in Dorian
the League
Gray.
of Extraordinary Literary Pieces of Art.
Yeah.
Skinner, invisibility guy. You see him drink some whiskey. I got a question for you. Where's the poo?
Okay.
Where's the poo, Preston?
Where's the poop?
If I'm seeing that liquid come down, I want to see pee. I want to see poo. Where's it at?
Yeah. I did not hate that effect of when he grabs the makeup and he's putting it on himself.
Oh, God, that was cool.
Yeah, like whole effect of him being invisible worked great for the most part.
Yeah, that's probably the only thing.
When it breaks down is when you are like, well, why can't we see anything? Like, we can't, like, if we can see that, why can't we see when he's got a full bladder? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Give me the pee. Give me the poo.
Right.
Someone's going to clip that one day. And as I'm accepting the presidency of the USA, they're going to say, he once said, give me the pee. Give me the poo.
Oh, well.
Yeah. From that beautiful piece, you go get Dorian Gray, which, I mean, they do a heck of a job of immediately letting you know this guy's going to screw them over. You shouldn't like him.
Yeah.
He's creepy.
And just that book is so terrible as well. That whole story is just.
I don't know if I've ever.
Oscar Wilde should have stuck to poetry.
Is it? Yeah, it's picture of the picture of Dorian Gray, right?
Yeah, and it's that's basically the story. Is like he does all these terrible things, and the portrait takes all the punishment. I don't know if he's invulnerable like he is in this movie because he takes like 50 gunshots, and
I think he just doesnn't age.
Yeah,
I don't think he's invincible. It's just he doesn't age anymore.
Right.
Again, I didn't read it, so I'm speaking out my wob.
And so the the Phantom shows up with his crew, and
what a dumb looking guy!
It is. It's like he's in this fur coat with like a Phantom of the. I guess he was that's kind of what he was going for. I guess is like he's the Phantom of the Opera. Yeah. I don't know. I don't even think that's in the book.
It's supposed to be directly that. Because I think that was also a free, you could reference that character and not have to pay situation.
Yeah. They talk like this, and it's injured under the mask.
After finishing the movie, thinking back to that scene, this is the dumbest movie. Like
it is. It's
his
so
plan
stupid.
is so stupid. I love that he's like, "Join me now." That's all they had to do. Movie over.
Yeah,
But why didn't he wait until they captured Jekyll or Dr. Jekyll and Hyde? Because doesn't he need everybody? So he's like, join me.
Also, his plan, we'll just go ahead and spoil it. It ends up being M, the guy that recruited him. So in that moment,
Sherlock Holmes, bub.
Yeah, he ends up being Moriarty.
Which no offense, if you don't have Moriarty, if you don't have Sherlock Holmes, you can't have Moriarty. Who cares? Which
that is my question. So that means that Sherlock Holmes exists in this universe as a person.
That was my problem.
Why is he not on the team?
Yeah, that should have been like, honestly, a better movie. Sherlock Holmes is the guy that and he puts the team together. He's got all these oddballs he's met.
He would be the best person to vet everybody, you know? But anyway. But like my thing is because his goal is to take a piece of everybody for some reason. Except you can't take anything from Alan Quartermain, but he wants the vampiric blood. He wants a skin sample from Skinner to become invisible. He wants Nemo's technology. He wants
the blood from Dr. Harker. Oh, you already said that.
And Dr. Jekyll, he wants a vial of Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde's in this movie too, as well.
Which lines up why he kidnaps all the scientists at the beginning.
Yeah.
I guess we replicate everything. But
since most of them are all right there, Just take that while you've got him at gunpoint.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, man. I immediately called again. I'm going to be cinema sins. Someone had to die in that shootout. Like,
Yeah,
I get it, but
but
no,
we had to introduce
the
Tom
worst
Sawyer.
actor.
Yeah, because this is America, dadgummit, and we're gonna put an American in this movie. We ain't gonna have a bunch of Europeans try to save the world.
Hey, boy, let me tell you something. You shoot one bullet, I shoot 20. I have fun, you don't, partner. Get your biscuits and crumpets and eat it.
Also,
Ugh.
I'm Tom Sawyer, and I'm originally from the South, but I sound like I'm a California kid.
And that was like, man, you could have gotten so many.
I'm actually from Mississippi, but I'm gonna sound like I was raised in the Valley in California somewhere.
Yeah. By the way, you know who? Yeah. When you think like American, you don't think a Californian accent, really.
Right.
Totally forgot this guy was in Ocean's 11, and he was in A Walk to Remember.
He was in
He plays
Ocean's
himself.
11?
I think he's at the poker table.
Oh,
where
yeah, he
Brad-
plays himself as an actor. It's Shane West,
Yeah.
I think is his name.
That's it, because he's also the guy that's Mandy Moore's boyfriend in all her music videos. I don't know
Okay.
why I know this.
I think
Preston.
around this time, I think he was in like a show or something.
He did a ton. He was in ER for a while.
Yeah, like
he was in ER for a while, and he was he had episodes on like Buffy,
yeah.
some of the other stuff.
I think that's why he got this role is they wanted. I think one of the studio notes was like they wanted a young guy from America, and all they could think of was Tom Sawyer.
I don't.
Not Billy the Kid. Not.
God, that'd have been so much better.
Yes.
Like, don't have another guy with a gun. What's
not Jesse
like
James? Not like some cowboy from something.
I don't get it.
I don't either.
I think I have a trivia point.
Okay.
That is comical. So yeah, Tom Sawyer definitely got added studio's request. Do you know who got dropped by the studio's request? Fu Manchu.
Well, yeah, I mean, you kind of had to. They did this. I mean, even in 2003, they were like, we can't. They did the same thing in Shang-Chi. Like, Fu Manchu is the original villain of Shang-Chi, but I think even in 2003, they're like, we can't do that.
No. I don't know. I think they should have done it personally.
Yeah, sure. Why not? So
I mean, Big Trouble in Little China is the greatest movie ever, and it
well,
James Hong, he just got his star on the Hollywood. I don't know if you're familiar with the guy. He's been in like 9,000 different occurrences. He started out with Chaplin back in the day.
Really?
But he just got a star on the Hollywood Star, and he's the oldest guy to ever get it. So I think he's 92 or 93.
Oh, he's still alive.
Yeah, he's still alive, man, and kicking.
Good for him.
He was in, I think we've talked about it, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Oh.
He's in it. I really want to see that movie still.
I do too.
Sorry, here's the rabbit hole I'm putting you on, and I'll go ahead and steer us back.
Go for it.
Yeah, Fu Manchu. Probably a good thing they cut him out.
Yeah.
And I think that was the only big thing. Yeah. I love the studio praised, like, Tom Sawyer was the perfect addition to this movie. It doesn't make any sense. You don't need another kid with guns. Like, you've got the marksman.
He's just Alan Quartermain, but he's American. And
annoying.
So we get on the boat, the Nautilus from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
All right. We've seen the car at this point. So
an automobile.
God, so stupid.
Yeah.
This is like the first submarine.
Mm-hmm.
Then
what's everything running on?
Solar power.
Is that what he says?
Even worse. There's a huge segment later when they surface and they have all their intimate discussions on the top. They keep surfacing to charge because our solar is charged. Batteries don't exist for I don't know how much longer, man. Like, maybe I'm too picky.
Yeah.
I will say, CGI on that awful. But
Yeah.
that was a cool ship, man. I was
It's a good.
I
I
went,
mean,
yeah, all right.
CGI wise, it's like,
Well,
but
and it kind of sucks because you see the car. The car's real.
yeah,
So you're like, oh, wow. Yeah, we're stepping it up. Then you see that, and it's like,
which it's impossible to build a ship like that in real life.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
I mean,
it is.
well, for a movie.
I did laugh. There's so much miniature usage,
Oh yeah,
but in weird ways. Like when the Nautilus goes underwater, it's definitely a miniature. The water bubble effect.
yeah.
It's a miniature of it, and it's like, yeah, you can tell this is like someone's glass. This is not believable.
Yeah.
But
A lot of the stuff in Venice was miniatures as well, I think.
blow it all, yeah. But they go recruit. I can't remember what he says. He's
The
got to
Hulk.
get the monster. Yeah, the Hulk, like the
Basically
2000.
the Hulk.
What
Which
year
is
did
what-
the first Hulk come out?
Like the 40s or like the 60s, I think.
Oh no, sorry, the movie.
Oh, 2008.
Okay, yeah. Whoever did the CGI on this went and worked on that movie for sure. Just that's all I'm going to say.
Well, a lot of Mr. Hyde was practical. Like that's a suit that guy's wearing.
It looks terrible.
It does look bad, but it's
But
at
points
least
for
that.
them. Sorry, I'm jumping way ahead to when
Because
whoever
when
the
he's,
guy's
you
name
can
is.
tell it's like fake arms when he's pulling on that lever later on to get the
God,
water
man.
out of the flooding area.
I love so they catch up to Jekyll, Dr. Hyde. I guess he's Jekyll then, and they're in France, Paris. Thank you. I messed that up. Paris. So they're chasing him all of a sudden. The guy that's supposed to be the leader and the expert, he's taken like 4 shots to do anything. And I'm like, yeah, this guy's not that good. He's not that good.
Well, Alan Quatermain is shooting the pillars and everything around him to get him to turn. Get him to turn, boy.
I felt like that was someone's teaching you to do something, you do it better than them, and then they don't do it right, and they're like, oh, I did that on purpose.
And Tom Sawyer is just bang, 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 bang with his little
He
little six
does
shooters.
that like 4 times in this movie, and every time I just sat there and went, this is so dumb. This is the dumbest. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Where do you keep your bullets?
Yeah.
Your
Again, it's the thing of no one reloads, no one runs out of bullets ever.
No, but they capture him. I thought that was pretty sweet though, the hidden net, and then dragging the body.
Was the net like? Did they drag that net from the boat somewhere specific?
Yeah. So the Quarterman's
Okay, I
plan
missed
is he
that.
gets them all the way there, and that was cool. But then they get to he's a prisoner, and they're yelling at him. Alan Quartermain's like, "Blah, you're terrible." 3 minutes later, he's like, "I'm your best friend. Turn back." I'm like, what is going on, man? Like, pick a side. Like, this is bogus. Then he does go back, and yeah, he goes back. That actor I actually do really like though. I didn't necessarily like him in this movie, and I don't know what else I've seen him in, but maybe he looks like someone else.
He
He was in
looked him up
Benjamin
last
Button.
night, and he looked a very familiar, but I can't remember exactly where I've seen him from.
Probably X-Men First Class.
Was he? Oh, he was in First Class. What was he in First Class?
Azazel.
Oh, Azazel.
Azazel.
redhead-
Wow, I'm
the-
good. It's
The
Nightcrawler's dad, right?
Nightcrawler's dad. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that makes sense.
I can't pronounce it, but I can save it. Probably something I should say at the end. What I don't understand is they could have made this movie a lot better. I think this movie is only remotely good because Sean Connery's in it. $78 million budget.
Half the
60 million
people
went down.
in this movie signed on to this movie because of Sean Connery. Like the guy that played M, he was like, I wanted to work with Sean Connery. That's why I signed up.
So it's like if you didn't have Sean Connery, you could have made a productional better movie.
Yeah, because he took
But
like 17 million.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh man, this movie has no excuse then. Never mind. I was thinking he took half the budget. Like,
Well, I mean,
still $17 million. Jeez.
I'm sure he got something on the back end, but his initial, like, just for him to show up was 17 million.
He got retirement.
Yeah, basically.
this is where I black out.
Okay.
The boat stuff, like, I guess you have Dorian goes, I'm going to call her Vampire Girl, Dr. Harker. And they have their whole sexy time and he steals her blood. And then they figure out that someone's taking a picture and there's flash powder. And then it's like, oh, we haven't seen the invisible guy in a while. It's definitely him.
Yeah, he just goes away.
Well, Skinner walks into Quartermain's cabin. And I'm like, what is he doing in there? Like, are you... why are you in this old man's room, dude? Like
that is the last time we see him, basically, quote unquote.
Yep. So
until Venice, or no, until when they end up in the snow in Mongolia.
Mongolia.
Because
M
is gonna blow up Venice.
When they got, that looks like blueprints of like Venice foundations.
Yeah.
And I forgot that was the whole, what does he get for blowing Venice up?
Well, that's all the leaders of Europe have congregated there at a conference to discuss what's going on with all these attacks that are happening.
Okay. Well, that's where I was definitely checked out still, because I was like, oh, it's just like they're having carnival and you're just going to kill all the partiers. Cool.
Yeah. And in the meantime, and they changed the initial thing from a flesh-eating gas getting leaked in New York to blowing up buildings in Venice because of 9/11.
That's
and
not
that
the same
doesn't
thing.
make sense.
No, that's an airplane and a gas.
Maybe they changed the setting because of New York.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people did that. Everyone switched there.
Because this was like 2 years after 9/11, so...
Yeah. Still, that doesn't even make sense then, though. That doesn't even like...
But
I guess if they're having a conference there, the same deal, but...
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
But you get probably the world's dumbest chase scene I've ever seen in Venice. But actually, scratch that. That boat comes into Venice. Venice Canal,
no issues.
Like 6.8 meters. That's how deep the deepest is, I think. Like, they put those poles in the ground and push some. I don't know. I'm not from Vince. I'm a Vince boy. There's no way this thing goes in. No way at all. And I love, we can't go any further. We hit a bridge. Dude, you'd have hit a lot of bridges. And I don't think there's a straight canal like that.
And then when they're trying to get it out of the canal, they're like responsible for half the damage to the buildings when they're trying to get out.
I love that part though. It's like, yes, they're evil.
Back
they're
it
the
up.
Enemy. Put it in reverse, Terry. Back it up.
And for some reason, Tom Sawyer knows how to drive a car.
That's what I was gonna say. What in the world? I mean, it's not like us Americans have this technology. You just got it.
Right.
No, I'm Tom Sawyer. I can drive a car. That whole scene made me A, nauseous from all the movements, B, regrettably sad because it was awful.
Yeah, it's like, first of all, like, I don't think you could drive a car in Venice. Like, isn't it?
No, I don't think it's wide enough.
Yeah, it's just all waterways.
Yeah, I think even today there's no cars in Venice. You have
based on what I saw in the Italian Job, it's just water.
Ooh, Italian Job. That came out that same year, didn't it? 2003. Yeah,
that's a much better movie.
Way better. Yeah. Hey man, Marky Mark, Funky Boy. Way better. They should have put him in this. He should have been Alan Quartermain. He was already in Venice.
Is it trying to blow up Venice? Oh.
What? My brother's got a burger chain.
So how do you motherfucker? All right. So it's too many impressions for one episode.
Oh, it's going to probably be a lot more.
It's going to be way more than that. Dorian Gray jumps out of the car because he's invincible. Bat Lady is covering him from the gunfire because she can make bats.
Alan Quartermain jumps out while the thing's in full speed.
Yep.
Jumps out, lands on his feet like a gymnast after a cartwheel, and lands.
Connery was like in his 70s at this point. but I don't think he
Yeah.
jumped out. I don't think that was him jumping out.
They told him to lean over, and they just rolled him over.
All right, now push me out of the car, boy.
This is called the Scottish roll.
The Scottish roll.
I was going to be really offensive and just say he was Irish this whole time, but everything blows up. They find out that Dorian, the escape pod, pops out. Dumb escape pod, by the way.
Yeah,
it's definitely a throwback. There's
no way that thing moves in water. There's no way that thing moves in water.
Heck no, man. And I love they have the audacity. It poops out.
Audacity.
And he's looking at you, and they make it turn around to go. Audacity.
And it's definitely not him in that. It's just like a picture they took of him and like stuck in there.
Ooh, that means that he's got 2 portraits now. He's invincible for life. I mean, like, I can't remember how they get. No. One of his captains or Nemo's guys finds that record.
Oh yeah.
It's like, I hate this trope. I mean, I guess it's how everyone knows movies and stories, but I'm the evil villain. I'm going to tell you my entire plan before you die. Ha 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 ha. You'll never catch me, Scooby-Doo. Like, what is this, dude?
We're going to use this as a framing device to catch up the audience as to what's going on.
In case you forgot, my name is Im. I'm the one that put you here.
And
because you don't know my voice, we'll give you a video to watch. Woo-hoo.
A wolf among the sheeps. Growl. The actor that plays, that's the dumbest part. That while they're in the middle of explaining it, he says, the wolf, I've said a wolf among the sheep or whatever, or something like that. And
I forgot what happens.
And Stuart Townsend in the back is like, growl. They just all sat in this room recording this record. And he's like, all right, when I say wolf, I want you to growl.
I forgot what happened, and I thought they were going to take the vinyl makes Jekyll and Hyde go insane.
Yeah, because it's
emitting
it's emitting like a pitch that is like that these crystal receivers or something that are picking up on these bombs, and like it's a certain frequency that only resonates on them, and it triggers the bombs. I don't.
I have it in my notes, and I didn't look it up, and I should look it up before I start talking. The guy that plays M. Was he in Mission Impossible 2?
Yes, he played.
Yeah, he's the right-hand guy.
Yes, that's him.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, he's in a lot of stuff, but I was like, I know you and I have done a movie where I've seen this guy.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that until you just mentioned that, because I was like, I've seen this guy somewhere.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because he kind of popped up. I thought about that because he's in the Elvis movie coming out.
He is?
Yeah, he plays Vernon Presley.
Okay. I didn't see him in the trailer, but that doesn't mean he's not in the movie.
Okay. It was in a magazine because I look at magazines all the time. I don't even know if magazines are fully sent or anything, but I saw it at the grocery store and I went, yeah, okay.
Dacre Montgomery's in that movie too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that movie's going to be good or not.
I think it is.
I also don't love Elvis Presley.
I liked it when I was a kid, but like as you get, I mean, the music's okay.
Yeah, I need to probably listen. I had a stigma about him growing up, and for some reason I was just like, I don't like this bumpkin.
He was like the first Harry Styles, basically.
I think I flat out said at some point in time in my life, who's this white guy that thinks he's black? Because so much of his music's like heavy gospel soul. Like,
well, that's how he grew up. He grew up in like a real poor part of town, and that's what the movie shows in the opening of the trailers.
As an adult, makes pure sense, but as a kid, it's like, what is this bull crap? Like,
Hank Williams learned to play guitar from a black guy at a train station. So
Hank Hill learned to play listening to Willie Nelson. Swear, I thought you were going to say Hank Hill.
Nope, Hank Williams.
Yeah, so the explosions go off. They start sinking. This thing should be done for.
Yes, but the most hilarious, like the way they track this thing. First of all, how? And the setup that they have is just like a 3D physical map with just two lights scrolling across the like did that Earth that globe in the back is just scrolling.
I thought that was supposed to be the Earth, and I'm like, man, they're going fast.
It's what it looks like.
But it's I guess it's just a whatever.
Just a constant. Like, how do you know where that is? That doesn't tell you anything.
I will say that boat, the production detail, it was awesome. It was killer. I was like, I'm on board, but this just let me see the boat and everyone else leave.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be a grumpy old man and look at boats for an hour.
So they end up in I think some kind of ice lake in Mongolia somewhere. I think
again, how the heck did that thing go through small rivers
right
around China?
Well, it went under the water. It's a submarine.
Yeah, but there's you have to go anyone watching the video. No, geographical time, baby. Yeah, no, I got into this rant with myself and went, no.
There's vampires and Tom Sawyer and invisible men running about the place. So okay, yeah, there's a submarine too. Why not?
Sorry, there are too many stupid things in my head right now. They get to
how did they build that facility? That's what I want to know. If it's impossible to get to, how'd you build that facility?
Yeah, and they stole all the people from that village to work and do stuff, but how'd you get the material? Where'd
you get the money to start this thing, first of all?
Don't you know the Phantom's been in the arts for years at this point? His acting career.
He's had a long running show, okay? So he's made some coin.
What a turd. I love I don't love. I'm saying it sarcastically.
Right.
But the idea of it's so great. They eventually about 12 of them get off the boat. And that's important because later there's hundreds of them. But 12 of them go and find shelter in this thing, and Skinner shows up and he's naked. The idea of the Invisible Man's got to be naked the whole time. I don't know why this makes me giggle.
His pee-pee's out.
And he's like, I'm in the snow. And I'm like, yeah, you definitely would have died though.
Yeah, you'd be dead by now of hypothermia, but yeah, come on in the cave and get warm, I guess.
I thought they're going to make a wiener joke, and I'm like, yeah, that thing fell off, man. It is gone. Skinner is...
He did.
Yeah, no more.
So they devise a plan of Quartermain and Sawyer are going to go after M. Nemo and Dr. Hyde are going to go after the captured scientists' families.
Yep. Which I love that because the only dumb reason I remember this, the Jules Verne story, Nemo's family gets kidnapped.
Yes.
Or they get kidnapped. I'm like, all right, yeah. So he's not against. That's the dumbest thing I've ever said. No one's for kidnapping. That's like saying I'm against the Nazis. Well, I guess some people are for them, but
yeah,
punching kittens and dogs is bad. Yeah, no one's gonna root for that. But I suspect that was supposed to be a nod that I'm probably the only person in the world that thought it because
there might have been some literary people that accidentally watched this movie that were.
Yeah, somebody got really pumped up about this.
Oh yes, very good, very good. Yeah.
I do like it when the Quartermain's. No, I'm not even gonna do it. Who goes at? Is it just Dr. Harker that goes after Dorian Gray?
Yes, she goes after him because Skinner is out planting bombs around the whole facility,
and she knows the secret. Then she forgets the secret, and then she remembers it after seeing the painting later.
Yes, because that was Dorian's reward from M. Somehow M got the dude's picture. And when Dorian looks upon it again, it's all visited upon him at once. Which
I thought he looked cool.
Not how it works in the Dorian Gray book, but
Look, Preston, I'm going to go and tell you what a lame excuse because, for the camera, it makes sense what I'm doing. If anyone listening or not, but Preston, why don't you just do this?
Can't just shut your eyes, bro. Close your eyes.
Yeah. I mean, if she chewed his eyelids off, yeah, cool.
Why didn't he destroy that painting a long time ago? That's what I want to know.
I think if he destroys the painting,
He kills him.
it destroys him.
That makes sense. Why not?
From the guy that didn't read the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get God. The ending of this, I was not checked out, but it was just like, well, we're gonna have a big grease bucket fight.
Mm-hmm.
The question I do, so Skinner sets the charges.
Yep.
You get the Rock'em Sock'em robots that come out with the flames.
Yeah.
They're in full armor, and I'm like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And then I went, it's probably how it would have looked if they did this, though. Yeah. So, all right. Whatever.
And you get a real, like, puffy red pustule of a Dr. or a Mr. Hyde. Copy.
That's the guy. That's whoever did that CGI did Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Because it's.
Or they did Red Hulk.
Yeah.
Basically.
That movie. Yeah.
It's not a good movie.
Yeah. No, it's not.
This isn't a good movie either.
No, it is really bad.
Because the way they defeat the main villain, he does another like monologue in his office about something.
I'm James Moriarty. I don't understand. Put a bullet in his head.
Like right there.
Quartermain. Bang! Yeah. Movie's done. You've solved it. You didn't die, bub.
Oh, I've put a gun to your little pupil's head. And Sean Connery in real life would be like, fuck the whelp.
Yeah, there would be no hesitation.
Yeah.
I just, I mean, you go through, everyone has their struggles. Guess what? Mm-hmm. They all win. I love Hyde.
Yeah.
Jekyll, Hyde, yeah, I guess that is. Mm-hmm. Yelling for Nemo and he's getting beat up. Nemo! And Nemo shows up and he's like, Nemo, you got to get out of here. Like, you just called him in, dude. What are you doing? He wasn't
Nemo,
in there.
Get in here. You've got to get out.
Oh, look out. Thank you for coming. Worst thing about this, so they survive all this bullcrap. Quartermain survives all this. He gets stabbed in the back shoulder.
Oh, does.
Dies from it.
Is it in the back?
There's so much bullcrap from this. Yeah, because he turns to shoot the invisible guy that's holding Tom Sawyer.
Mm-hmm.
So he kills the invisible guy who's gotten burned, so you can see him. And Moriarty stabs him in the back, and then Batman's out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Batman jump was sick. I was in for it.
And he had a parachute?
Where did that come from?
Or it was under his coat, in his big warm coat. That I don't know how that thing floated, but
I was so excited because I know he's about to get shot. This thing's ending. Can't wait.
Yeah. Which is just like, it's the crappiest way to like get rid of the villain is like he just shoots him in the back from like a few hundred yards away. Like, okay.
The worst ending in the world, though, is you go to Kenya to bury Quartermain.
Yeah.
You've got 10 people from the village who actually probably knew him pretty good. And then these random people that
the people like he knew for like a week.
And I'm gonna go
just in front of everybody.
Sawyer flipping the Winchester rifle, putting it on his grave. I was like, dude, someone's gonna steal that.
What did that white boy put on the grave?
Mine. Oh, don't worry. The witch doctor woke him up, ma'am. The witch doctor woke him up
because Africa won't let me die. What does that mean?
I don't think Sean Connery thought that when this thing was ending. He probably prayed for, please just let Africa kill me.
No, he took over. He actually helped with the edit on this movie.
All right.
After the director got kicked off the project towards the end. So
good lad. That's all I'll say.
But that's the end of the movie. It's, way more stuff actually happened in this one as compared to last week.
Yeah. This was I don't remember. Yeah, stuff happened.
This had story beats at least.
This was the first of Alan Moore's novels or graphic novels, whatever you want to call them, to be made into movies.
Yes, this
From
was the
Hell.
very first. This is the one that
No,
made
From
him.
Hell was before. From Hell was 2001.
Well, this is the one that made him like, I'm not putting my name on anything else.
Which V for Vendetta was pretty dang good.
Yeah, it was so good.
And
Watchmen
I
was
loved
good.
The Watchmen. That was loved
The
it.
Watchmen TV show is excellent.
Yeah. I didn't. Yeah, I did like it. I was a stubborn person at first. It's like, but the characters I love, you're doing bad things.
But it's
whatever.
That's the whole point of Watchmen.
Yep. Did you know that that's Mark Hamill's favorite movie?
The one from 2009?
Yeah.
Really?
He didn't either because some internet site tweeted out Mark Hamill's favorite movie is The Watchmen. Here's why you should watch it. And he replied to it and said, that's not my favorite movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was somebody trying to get engagement. But
the other
trivia.
funny fact. Okay, I'm going to give you the worst trivia of the whole thing.
Worst trivia.
2 things,
Okay.
actually. I don't remember her name. Peta something.
Mhm.
There's a lot of problems because the promotional posters, they photoshopped her boobs. And it was very apparent. In school, this was an example of if you Photoshop things, you need to make sure you do them correctly. Like, look at the backgrounds. Look at this.
Yeah.
Apparently, they Photoshopped them up.
Okay.
Number 2,
Mm-hmm.
Tom Sawyer is Special Agent Sawyer of the American Secret Service. Or
That didn't
SAS,
exist yet either.
Or ass. Pick your poison. So someone didn't like him being in there and wrote that. And went, yeah, I'm going to get them on. But
Well, we kind of touched on all my trivia, but Steve Norrington, the director who also directed Blade, everyone hated him. He constantly got into shouting matches with Sean Connery. He shut down the set one day because he didn't like the look of an elephant gun prop.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. He tried to goat Sean Connery into punching him on set, and Sean Connery just walked off.
That's a shame.
Yeah, I would have just punched him. Like who's gonna believe it, or who's gonna care? Like I'm Sean Connery.
No one. Yeah, it's Sean Connery. Like, do whatever you want, probably, ma'am.
Yeah. So, like you said, he hasn't worked on anything since. So.
I did look up. I forgot what I should have said earlier. There's a cut scene where Tom Sawyer explains why he's tracking the Phantom, and it's because him and his friend Agent Huck Finn were tracking him, and the Phantom killed Huck.
I'm glad that was cut. We get it. You're Tom Sawyer.
Yeah, we don't need any more of this bullcrap. I think it's hilarious, man. The guy that is M.
Yeah.
Doesn't he go and do Van Helsing like
I think
a year later?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Dracula.
Stuart Townsend, who played Dorian Gray, was the original pick for Aragorn in Lord of the Rings. But halfway through, like he was cast and he went to New Zealand. Halfway through filming the first movie, Peter Jackson was like, "You look too young."
I didn't realize it was that guy.
Yeah,
and that makes a good move, man.
Yes. My question would have been, well, why did you cast me?
Yeah, that's kind of like the whole oh my gosh, Back to the Future situation where why am I blanking on the original guy's name? But yeah, cut him out.
I know who you're talking about, but Michael J. Fox replaced the original guy.
Yeah. I don't know. That one made more sense. I screen tested. It didn't test well, but like you look too young. You'd know that pretty early on.
You'd think like you did screen tests, you did all this stuff, you auditioned, and then that is the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Terrible.
movie that killed Sean Connery's acting career. Well,
Thankfully, not this podcast. It
probably
wasn't that bad.
voluntarily. Jake, thanks for sitting through another movie. That's not good.
Yeah, like you said, wasn't the worst thing I've ever watched. I enjoyed it.
This one gets.
I think people should watch it once. It's worth it.
2 points for me for actually having a story, and Sean Connery.
Yeah, there's some one-liners that are so ridiculous that it's just worth having them in your pocket to tell someone randomly.
It'll be my boot up your ass. That's my favorite. But if you have a suggestion for a future episode, you can send that to secondtakemoviespod@gmail.com, and you can reach us on the social medias at Second Take Movies on Instagram. For Jake, I will say we will see you next week with Con Air.
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen that, so I'm excited.
I've never seen it. I've seen one clip from it, and it's just Nicolas Cage talking.
Yeah.
And it is an accent like no other.
We're back on the Nick Cage train, baby.
Toot, toot, baby. Give me that Grage Cage.
So we'll see you next week with Con Air.